Welcome to lecture series on signals and systems. In the previous lecture we were discussing about periodic and aperiodic signals and we saw solve of problems. In this lecture we will start with the next class of signals, that is energy and power signals. So the definition goes, a signal x of t, or also you can consider it for dt signal x of n, is called as an energy signal if the energy satisfies this condition. What is that? The total energy of the signal should be finite. It should be finite in between 0 and infinite, and correspondingly at this point the power of the signal will be 0. So let me rephrase it. A signal is said to be energy signal if the total energy of the signal is finite. And any energy signal, uska power will be 0. So that is the definition of the energy signal. Next, it's about the power signal. A signal x of t or x of n is said to be a power signal if it satisfies the condition, that is it should be finite in between 0 and infinite. So correspondingly for power signals energy will be infinite. Again for this we can rephrase it as, any signal x of t is said to be a power signal if the average power of the signal is finite. And correspondingly the energy of the power signal will be infinite. So we will see how it could be happening like this, and what are the other important conditions or the similar note point, what are the other things related to this topic, we will see in this lecture only. So consider a circuit shown below. As a voltage source will be applied through the resistance R, so the drop across the resistance, that is the current flowing, is I of t. A simple Ohm's law circuit. So the instantaneous power dissipated in this circuit can be identified as P of t is equal to, that is power, is equal to V of t into I of t. So the instantaneous power dissipated across the resistance R is said to be V of t into I of t. Now if we elaborate, what will be the I of t? I of t is the current flowing across this resistor, so which we can generate as V of t by R. So what we will get here in terms of V, it is power is equal to instantaneous power P of t is equal to V square t divided by R. And correspondingly in terms of current we can represent it as I square t R. Here it is resistance will be multiplied and here it will be divided. So you can consider if in the one condition, if resistance of the resistor value is 1 ohm, what will happen? Whatever the power, instantaneous power dissipation is there, that is P of t, will be simply I square t, or you can say V square t. That is nothing but instantaneous power is the square of the amplitude of the signal, whether it is current signal or voltage signal, it doesn't matter. So directly it is the square of the amplitude of the signal. So thus what we can conclude here, the power for a time interval, that is plus or minus t, that is t is varied between minus t and capital minus t and plus t. So what we can relate here, a p is equal to limit t tends to infinity, the total period will be 1 by 2t, is integration from minus t to t I square t dt. This is the instantaneous power for a continuous time signal. Correspondingly, what will be the energy signal? Same, it's just a limitation. Energy is just an integration of the power over a time. So limitation t tends to infinity, minus t to t, power is just I square t, right? You can write I square t here. Okay, so whatever the power relation and energy relation that we could see here, this is related to the circuit that we have taken. Okay, so that we can correlate with the any signal x of t as p is equal to limit t tends to infinity 1 by 2t minus t to t x of t square dt is mod of x of t square dt. So the power will be in terms of watts here, and similarly we can relate energy of the signal will be limitation t tends to infinity minus t to t mod of x of t square dt joules. Okay, they are the units. Okay, so if in the some of the problems or in the some of the books they are not mentioning these infinite terms with the energy signal, so simply what they will be saying, as you can see here, the limit t is varied from minus infinity to infinity. That's what it is saying. It is moving towards the infinity. So directly we can write here saying directly we can relate that integration is in such a way that like E can be written, so simply minus infinity to infinity mod of x of t square dt. We can write this one also, there is no problem with this. Okay, in some of the book they have mentioned this one, because instead of this period of time, that is minus t to t, as the t tends to infinity they will get minus infinity to infinity. That's what it will be written here. Okay, in some of the book they have written like this, so you can refer that also. Okay, so moving further, we can have the expression, this is about the energy signal expression and power signal expression. Okay, then we can similarly get the expression for the dt signal. Okay, so how we can do that? Similarly for a dt signal, energy signal will be, okay, E is equal to summation n equal to minus infinity to infinity x square of n. It is something like square of the signal has to be added for all the intervals of the n, that is all the indexes of the n from minus infinity to infinity. And similarly power signal will be p is equal to limitation capital N tends to infinity 1 by 2n plus 1 summation n is equal to minus n to n x of n square. Okay, mod x of n square. Okay, so we can correlate here saying n is the interval of time, so over the period of a time, whatever the amplitude of the signal will be there at the particular instance, that is index value n, they have to be added, squared and added. Okay, so that what the power is all about. Okay, so energy and power expressions are clear to you. Okay, so what are the important notes that you must be noting here? Okay, so if a total energy is finite, then the signal is said to be energy signal. Okay, that's what the definition is, and the condition is this one. Okay, and for energy signal power will be 0. Okay, so in problems they may ask you, find whether the given signal is energy signal or power signal. In such type of question, you can deliberately consider that if the energy of the signal is finite, for that obviously the power will be 0. Then you can say it is energy signal. Okay, then if a power signal is there and its the power of the signal is finite, then the signal is power signal. Okay, power is finite. This is the condition according to the definition. And for a power signal, what will be the energy? Energy will be infinite. Okay, so understand in that manner. Okay, then what is the third important point to be noted? A signal can be energy signal, saying if it satisfies first condition. Okay, if it says first statement. Second, a signal can be power signal also. Okay, so that is about the second point. And the third point is a signal can be neither energy nor power signal. That is a third type of a signal, matlab the signal cannot be a power signal and cannot be energy signal. That kind of signals also exist. Okay, But what about the sixth point? You can understand here, a signal cannot be simultaneously both energy and power signal. So it means power of a signal, whatever the signal is being given to you, if you calculate its energy, that is also finite, and you calculate the power, that is also finite. Such kind of signals doesn't exist. If it is there, that is simply a zero signal. Okay, so there is no such kind of signal existence. So you have to understand here is, a given signal could be energy signal, that is the one point. The second thing, a signal could be a power signal, and the third thing, neither of the energy signal nor a power signal, that is the third case. But the fourth case, that is both the simultaneously, it is power signal, energy signal, it doesn't exist. Okay, so please understand that. Main important, a key point that you have to understand with respect to this point of discussion is, periodic signals are always a power signals. So whatever the periodic signals you take, saying in continuous time signal, all the sinusoidal signals are periodic. Okay, and then you can understood that all the sinusoidal signals, if they have been given in continuous time, they will be a power signals. These key points are for some competitive exam preparations, wherein you can directly look into the signal, and by looking at the signal only, you can consider whether it is power signal or energy signal. You don't have to calculate, you don't have to do all these integrations and differentiations, whatever it is there. Okay, then non-periodic signals are energy signals. These are just statements. When we solve the problems, you will understand it more clearly. Okay, and the second key point is, the power of a sinusoidal signal with amplitude A is equal to A square by 2. Okay, so if sinusoidal signal is being given with its amplitude is A, then if you calculate the power of that, it will be A square by 2, and correspondingly what will be the RMS value? RMS value is equal to square root of A square by 2, that is simply A by root 2. Okay, so these are some highlighting key points. This will help you for solving the